Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Midday with Joe.
Sounds like you're hammering today.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, it's time for Midday with Joe. Joe Martone on the hammer. Now it sounds like a drum. Now you got it. Today, the segment kind of wrote itself. There was so many things in the news I wanted to ask Joe about, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Today is National Pretzel Day. We'll start with that one. Good morning, Joe.
Such a deal. Give me pretzel, but make sure you put the salt on it and a beer.
And today is National Salty Kiss Day. Yeah. You take a piece of, you put some salt in the palm of your hand, you kiss the salt, and then you kiss somebody.
No.
Why not?
No.
You don't want to participate?
No. You get the salt around the rim, and then you drink the margarita, then you then you kiss
Put the lime in the coconut.
And mix it all together.
And they put a new bell downtown. Did you want to talk about that at all?
The bell from where?
From the old firehouse back in the 1800s.
Where was the firehouse? Anybody know?
1889.
Right where the parking garage is now.
Now, is that bell going to be rung at the top of the hour so nobody's late?
Apparently it doesn't ring anymore. It's just
What do you mean it doesn't ring? A bell is... Why would they call it a bell then?
I can tell you what I read.
No, I mean, why would they call it a bell if it doesn't ring?
Have you seen it?
It's an ornament.
No, it looks like, it's an ornament in a way.
Well, if it doesn't ring, a bell is not a bell. It's just an ornament.
It's historical.
An historical ornament that
it
looks
has
like
a crack
a bell.
in it, just like the Liberty Bell.
So it was hit too hard then at one time.
Yeah, there's two stories. One is after World War II was after the Germans were defeated. They said they rang it too hard and it broke. And then the other one said 1964 when the Beatles came out with Michelle, My Bell, it broke it.
But either way, they broke it.
Yeah.
So now it's a nice ornamental bell.
Correct.
There you go.
And it used to ring at the beginning of the workday.
Well, yeah. Get to work. Okay.
At lunchtime.
Yay!
And at the end of the workday.
Well, so they know when to eat and when to go home. As far as coming in, ding, you're late. No, I didn't hear no bell.
So in Disney World, in the Liberty Square in Disney World.
They have a replica of one.
Of the Liberty Bell.
Without the crack. I don't think they have the crack in that one.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I don't recall. I looked at it twice, 3 times.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you tried to ring it?
You're not allowed. It's you can't get to it, I don't think. I think there's a little...
I could touch it.
Yeah, it's a fence, but you can touch it.
Oh, you still, there's a fence
Yeah,
you can
touch it.
It's funny, though, you sit there, you see this big tree and everything, and this is what amazed me, this big tree, and you're looking at the Liberty Bell, and you're looking at this tree, and you don't realize that tree is in a gigantic pot. Because you're on the second floor. There's no soil.
Which tree are we talking about?
The one right next to the Liberty Bell.
Oh, okay.
That's a big tree that they transplanted there.
Oh, wow.
And they put it in this gigantic pot.
Is there a historical
In
significance?
Disney?
Yeah. Yeah, the tree's very old. I can't give you the exact... When I took the keys to the kingdom, they talked about that. And it was very old. But you don't realize, you see all this foliage and everything, but you don't realize you're on the second floor.
So you have hit on the very topic of today.
Mm-hmm.
It is, why do some theme parks fail and others succeed? And why do some attractions stay around, like the Hall of Presidents, for example,
Right.
that you don't ever hear anybody talk about them, but they're always there?
It's always there, just like the Carousel of Progress is always there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you notice, some things are called Six Flags Amusement Park.
Right.
But there's only 2 theme parks, and one copied the other theme park. Disney came up with the word theme park. There was no theme park. Everything was an amusement park or come to the carnival, But then Disney came with a theme
So didn't other people use that word theme park then?
Not that I know of.
Six Gun
Six Gun Territory.
had a theme to it.
Well, but it wasn't. It was Six Gun Territory.
Right.
It was root tune shooting thing, right?
Was it a theme park, Rob?
I guess you could call
Yeah,
it
it
a
was
theme park.
yeah.
But they didn't call it a theme
Freedom
park.
Land had a theme.
Yes, oh yeah, the Freedom Land. But they didn't come up with the word theme park. Freedom Land was the United States. You go from one.
So do you
to the
think
other.
that's part of the success? Just simply what it's called?
It helps? It helps. I have to. Excuse me. I forgot to mute my phone. And then you go. Okay. It was.
So the Miami Herald, I'm not going to read this, but the Miami Herald had a list of all of the theme parks or amusement parks, whatever you want to call them, down in South Florida that have closed.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Upstate New York, Lake George, 1960s. All around the 60s and 70s, a lot of them went. There used to be a Gaslight Village. I love that place.
That's why I'm asking, why does something like Disney World continue? Not only does it continue, but they can charge more than $100 a person.
Why?
Yeah.
Because there's always kids. Think about it.
Didn't the other theme parks attract kids?
Not like Disney.
So why? My question is why?
Well, there's always kids. There's a new audience keeps coming up. A new audience keeps coming up.
I know.
A new audience keeps coming. Okay, I like Gaslight Village, and people that were older than me at the time, they went there to remember the Keystone Cops and what it was like to see the Chicago fire. But the kids went after a while. Okay, and then that was the end of that noise. The attractions changed, even in Disney. The Safari Adventure, that is 1955 when they opened Disneyland. That was like, oh wow, this is what Africa must look like. And then what happens? Then all the realism comes through, and everybody actually can see it on the phone. Bip, bip, bip. Okay, that's what an elephant. Oh, that's what that. That dog, the nice husky outside.
Oh, pretty dog. Yes.
Very pretty.
But nowadays the ride is all jokes, and it's lost. It's lost its thing. It's more like a fun ride rather than an educational. When Disney made it, was like the Wild World of Disney or whatever it was called back then, and it was like, oh, look at that. That's and they had some funny things in there, but look at that lion and look at. But now what do they have? They have that there, but then you go to Animal Kingdom, you see the real things.
Yeah.
So it has they have to change with it. How many attractions inside the parks have closed? Whether it is because it was poor attendance to that, or they want to update it, or there was controversy, like with Michael Jackson's ride, Captain EO. All right, Captain EO was starting to feel, and they shut it off. Well, they shut the park. They shut it right down. Boom, gone.
I think we were walking through Disney World the last time we went, and I said, this is Disney World, but this is also John Williams' world, because the music seemed to be so important. It seems like everywhere you go, there's music being pumped out of the...
Oh, yeah, it changes.
Out of everything.
And especially Epcot, as you go through the lands, you see like...
It's Sherman Brothers world or whatever.
Oh, I don't know what... Yeah.
Right?
Sherman Brothers with Supercalifragilistic.
Right.
But you walk through and you're going through one thing and you hear...
Right, that's exactly right. Yeah.
And then you go to the next land and you got... each land had its own... And it kind of blends, and then all of a sudden the music changes. From England to what, and the music changes through the whole thing.
So maybe that's part of it too. Maybe like Freedom Land didn't know how to use music in a way.
And smells.
And smells, yeah.
They pump smells, especially going on Main Street, you get that sweet smell. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and how things are put together. Forced perspective, how you look up at a building and it looks taller, but it's not really taller. The windows are getting smaller as it goes up, kind of thing. So yeah, it's a lot of more engineering, and Disney made it like a movie set rather than an amusement park. You feel like you're in a movie. Henceforth, Universal did Harry Potter.
Yeah, right.
Right. They took it straight from the movie. There it is. And gee, I wonder where they got their cue from. Where so it's competition, and who wins? The public. So
how when you first read a Harry Potter book, the way that whole area looks is completely made up by you in your own mind.
While you're reading a book.
But today, the kids who read the book already have something because they've seen that place in Universal. They've seen what the land looks like, and now
my big question is when the movie was made, because Universal copied the movie. Okay, so I hate when I do that. I'm sorry. I forgive me when I say okay. That's irrelevant. I hate that phrasing. It comes out every once in a while.
Okay. Yeah.
that one. Okay, yeah, same thing. Wise blood. When they copied the movie, the actors say, "Oh, I feel like I was on the set again." When they toured it over here in Orlando, "Oh, I feel like I'm on the set again."
Right.
They said the set. Now, when Universal went to make, oh no, I'm sorry, I don't know who made the movie. I forgot what movie company. When the movie company went to make the movie, and they started with the sketches, did they go to Rollins and say, "Is this what you? Is this
what does it look like? Yeah,
is this what you look like?" And did she collaborate on it? Oh no, it's a little of this, a little of that, and then all of a sudden, poof! I think they did because it has the touch. It has that touch to it. And Disney, they did.
But in Disney's case, he had a whole staff of artists, and he would work closely with them. So, for example, when they designed Cinderella's castle.
Right. They didn't. That wasn't from a movie or a book. They did it.
They did, yeah, of course. Based on an actual castle, right? Isn't that the
all
story?
of them are? All of them are.
in Germany, right?
Yeah,
Was
but
it
there's
Germany?
or Switzerland. Yeah,
but each Disney place has a different castle, right? They're all different.
Yeah. Disney Castle, Cinderella,
Cinderella,
Sleeping Beauties.
What's the one in California?
No, I don't know.
Snow White or something?
I don't know. I don't really. I always confuse them, so I shut up. I forget. But if you think about it, it's all either it was made from one of the movies Disney made, and then transposed into the park, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Mm-hmm. There's the movie. Okay, the movie looked like this. Now it's the ride.
Gotcha. Right. But again, when the book was first read, the reader pictures it in his own mind.
Now, the only thing that they did in reverse was Pirates of the Caribbean. That was done in reverse. The ride came, then the movies came after the ride.
And there was no book, right?
There was no book. Not that I know of.
Is there a book now?
Not that I know of.
Oh, okay.
Just screenplays. I don't know if there's a...
So that's interesting. Yeah, it was a ride first.
Then it became a movie. And now they incorporated the movie into the ride a little more with Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
And now he's not going to be in a future movie, so are they going to keep him in the ride? Of course
really?
They are.
Yeah.
Hey, that costs a lot of money to make one of those audio animatronics so well done. Well, Avatar. There's another one Disney has that they took from the movie, the imagination of the movie, and then they expanded it and they made it into, Star Wars. Now, Star Wars, they're using the Millennium Falcon as a centerpiece because that was in the movie. Mm-hmm. But the land, that's all their idea. That wasn't in any book or anything. That's a different land where they come in and that's where everybody gathers around and what have you. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of rumors how the ride is going to be like. The ride's going to be like the other ride that they have. I call it Mission to Mars, but it's whatever it's called. And you sit there, and then you land.
Yeah.
Well, with the one in Star Wars area, I understand it. If you make a mistake, you could actually crash. And I think because you have the bands on you, you'll be identified.
If you're dead?
As dead, no. As crashing. But there'll be cameras of your face and everything.
Oh, wow.
And then when you come out, the cast members, I think this is going to way it works, to have these little pads, and they'll see your face, and they'll come up to you, see you crash.
That's funny.
Yeah, I hope that's a true story. I hope it works that way. Because right now, when you're going to a ride or anything, automatically, your picture's taken where you are because you got that little what do you call it, the magic band, if you have the magic band. Mm-hmm. And it keeps track. I could be anywhere in the park, and I look on the app, and there's a little blue dot. I'm here. I'm there. It shows where I am.
Oh, nice.
And I think that's fantastic, especially for the little kids.
That is
so
fabulous.
So if they go to a cast member
Absolutely.
And say, my child is missing. Well, what's your child's name? And they all have these little pads, like a little iPad, whatever you want to call them. Bip-bida-bap-bida-boop. He's over there.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's phenomenal. That's outstanding. That's the one thing I like about the technology, and it's and it's only done at Disney, from what I understand, in Florida. The other Disney parks don't have it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, are you? So it's now how far that technology goes. Does it reach to where we are here? That's for another story. Hey, everybody, have a great weekend. Thank you for listening to AM Ocala Live Monday through Friday, every day on WOCA from Ocala, broadcasting from the Paddock Mall.
Midday with Joe.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. President Trump doubling down on his assertion about his former White House counsel Don McGahn and Robert Mueller.